Hello Gemini, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading, booking a personal reading or coaching session with me, or on my upcoming workshop is in the description box below, and there will be more on that upcoming workshop at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. All right, Gemini, let's dive in. We're going to look at overall energy through oracle cards first, and then we'll dive deeper into the reading with tarot as we progress. So let's start with looking at your recent past. What has Gemini been dealing with in their recent past? Believe in the impossible, but in what context? Hold your vision. Then you have to look at the bigger picture. So there's something that, some sort of dream that you've been going after here. Or actually, no, yeah, because you have your hard work is paying off. Something that you've been putting in the work to bring into reality. But I feel like you've been experiencing a lot of obstacles and challenges and setbacks in regard to it. And I feel like that has created quite a bit of frustration for you, which is natural and normal. Anyone experiencing obstacles and challenges would be frustrated. But let's look at it a little bit more. Current energy here for Gemini. So what is Gemini dealing with now? So this is something that you've been going after for a while. Conclusions are within reach. Balanced spirituality and practicality. Interesting. Okay. One of my favorite graphics is it's like this up and down, and it's like up and then down, up and then down, up and then down, and it's like up, and it's like where you're trying to get, where you start, and then where you're trying to get. And you see a lot of progress in the beginning of something. And it's really exciting. You're like, oh my gosh, it's happening. And then you experience some sort of setback, obstacles, and challenge. This is where a lot of people give up. Okay, but the people who stay, they eventually experience some more success, some more progress. And then there's another obstacle and challenge. And this is where a lot more people give up. And then you experience some success, so on and so forth, until you kind of get to where you're almost there. And then there's this obstacle challenge that happens, and this is where most people give up. And the people that succeed are the people who choose not to let setbacks, obstacles, and challenges deter them from their path, but instead use them in ways to heal, learn, grow, evolve, to keep moving forward on the path, but with a new mentality or a different mindset or whatever might be necessary. Because the truth is, what I've really learned on my journey is that obstacles and challenges are opportunities for us to show up as the person that we say that we are and the life that we say that we want. Because they're inevitable and they're going to happen. And I feel like you're experiencing maybe a big one right now or a lot of little ones in a row, and that might have you really second guessing your path, your capabilities, things of that nature. And that's natural and that's normal, but it's imperative, I feel like right now, speaking to a collective, that might be, second guessing their path. And it's important. You can second guess all day long, but definitely don't give up, because I feel like you're pretty close to achieving the things that you desire. So what does Gemini need to know moving forward? I keep saying this, your hard work is paying off card. Hasn't come out, but it's around, and I feel like it's important for you to know that too. Fiery climax approaches. Surrender to the divine. You gotta let go. Whether that's of your timeline, of your idea of exactly how things are going to work out and when things are going to work out, and just trust that they're going to. And trust me, I know from experience that it's not easy to do that. But I do feel like you're headed in a good direction. But I feel like your control is the biggest thing that could get in your way. When we try to control, when we try to force, we try to, to do too much, we might be blocking ourselves a little bit. So, and that's what finding balance between spirituality and practicality is all about. Is, manifestation, creation, building something is all about a co-creation partnership with the universe. And you can do your part, right? You show up, you work, you put in the work. But you also have to trust that the universe is going to do its part. And when you try to step in and do it all, you're not allowing for that partnership. And the universe is there to do for you what you cannot do for yourself. So it's necessary to lean on that co-creation partnership. But let's get more overall theme of this reading for Gemini. It's like you're at that point, like right before things work out. Which, right before things work out is when, we experience the most frustration and just, almost proof, quote unquote, of our limiting beliefs and fears and insecurities and self-doubt and all that stuff that rises to the surface. Healer. Trust your intention. Your intention is really important. When we have intentions of bringing, time, and then there's good fortune and protection. When we have good intentions of bringing good into the world, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be a healer. But I feel like, when we're aiming to contribute to the overall elevation of the world, you can trust your good intentions. And I feel like that's what you're needing to trust right now. What the energy that you're putting in is coming from a good place. At least I'm speaking to a collective who that's the case. And therefore your path is very protected. You have this time, which to me is kind of similar to the Temperance card, about patience and trusting in divine timing and that it's all going to align when it needs to. But I feel like you really need to know that your path is very protected. And I also feel like whatever this is about, it's important. It's very important. It's important that you succeed, not just for you, but for the, again, going back to what I said, for the world. Now, it sounds dramatic. It sounds big. But seriously, I feel like the more that we trust in our intentions, the more that we can lean, not just on our own beliefs that we're worthy, because you're worthy of, the results that you desire, the success that you desire, the abundance that you desire. That's all true. But also, what you're bringing to the table is important too. So, I don't know. This is definitely for someone who's needing to trust a path here. But let's dive into it a little bit more. This is looking at Gemini's recent past. What has Gemini been dealing with? Lack, maybe even loss, again, obstacles, challenges, setbacks, not having what you need, working through a lot of fear. I can see why you'd be frustrated because, to be honest with you, Gemini, I feel like you've put in a lot of work. And I feel like you've made a lot of progress. Now, I will say, you're going from point A to point B, right? And your focus, okay, hang on. Sorry. I'm getting there. Justice in reverse. What else? I want to make sure. When we're trying to get from point A to point B, if we're so focused on how far we have to go and we lose sight of how far we've come, we're going to constantly feel like we're not making progress. But when we focus on how far we've come and we look at our progress as proof of our capabilities, our willingness, our deservingness, we start to give ourselves a little bit more confidence to keep moving forward. Because it's true. You aren't in a position right now where you have what it is that you deserve. Whether that's love, financial stability, success, whatever the case might be. And it's hard because if we look at our circumstances as proof and you don't have what you need, you're going to look at it as this reflection of this is proof that I can't have what I need, or that I'm undeserving, or that I'm unwilling, or not unwilling, unlovable, or whatever the case is. And then you might be unwilling to take action toward, to keep trying, to keep showing up, to keep taking action toward what you do deserve. So we can't look at our circumstances proof. You are the proof, okay? You are worthy, you are deserving, you are capable, all those things. You could be frustrated. That's a natural human response. But I feel like there's also a need to tap into looking more at your progress than focusing on how far you have to go. Current energy for Gemini. So what is Gemini dealing with right now? Because I feel like you've been on this path for a while. Months, years, maybe even. I do feel like I'm speaking to a collective who has put in a lot of work. Hierophant. Your action needs to come from a place of wisdom right now. Your decisions, you're being cautioned almost by spirit, by the universe, to not chase, but to allow. And I said that, if you chase right now, if you try to control, you might find yourself actually delaying the things that you deserve and desire. Let me see what else here. King of Wands, Knight of Wands, Three of Pentacles in reverse. Gemini, this feels like home stretch. I don't know of what. This feels like home stretch when it comes to achieving a certain goal or getting to a certain place or receiving something. And I will say, in that last bit of home stretch, when it comes to closing a cycle, attracting what we desire, whatever it is, not only is that where most people give up, but that's where most people sabotage. That's where most people throw in the towel. Obviously, yes, give up, or they allow their fear to take the wheel and they make decisions that ruin the progress, which is why I feel right now there's a need to be very, very aware of, that this is happening, that you're experiencing obstacles and challenges, and that your fear and your anxiety and your doubt might be very strong right now, but not to make decisions from that place. To make decisions from a place of confidence and certainty in your path. You are very divinely protected, and what that means is that you will always have an opportunity to find success on this path. But that doesn't mean that you're not protected from self-sabotage. And what I mean by that is if you make mistakes, how do I say this? Because it kind of sounds like I'm fear-mongering, and I'm not trying to. If you make mistakes, you might, yes, sabotage progress, but you'll always be able to have that opportunity. So this isn't like it's now or never. If you make the wrong choice, you're screwed. Okay, that's not what I'm trying to bring forth in this. But I do feel like it's really important to tap into a deeper level of awareness and make sure you're coming from a place of like wisdom and deeper understanding and contemplation and perspective instead of reaction. Because reaction can often result in making decisions that we later regret. So we never want to react. We always want to respond, right? And right now, especially if you do have emotions running really high, because there's frustration or doubt or insecurity or whatever the case is, you're going to feel a lot of emotion. And I'm not saying don't feel those emotions. Feel those emotions. Process those emotions. But don't react from that place, because you don't want to it's about showing up as like your higher self as much as possible. And it's not saying you need to be perfect, okay, because you're not going to be. You're going to make mistakes, and that's part of the process. But just pay attention to, like, I don't know, the big self-sabotage, the not giving up, or the giving up, or the not trying, or the keeping yourself stuck, or the forcing, or the controlling, like things of that nature. What can Gemini do moving forward? There is a ginormous wasp on my window right now. It is outside, I think. I hope. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Okay. You see me getting up and sprinting out of this room as fast as possible, though. It's because that wasp is not outside, but I'm pretty sure it is. All right, what does Gemini need to know moving forward? I'm very afraid of wasps. I do not like them. I'm not even allergic. I really hate them. I don't know why. Probably because they sting and they hurt. 2 of Pentacles. Ooh. The Lovers. Gemini energy. It's gonna happen, but you gotta let it happen. Yeah, there you are. Queen of Swords, whether you're male or female. This is your energy here, Gemini. The universe put a dream in your heart for a reason. The universe put intentions in your heart for a reason. The universe has every intention of helping you make this happen, okay? But you got to allow it, meaning you have to surrender your way of believing when things have to work out, exactly what they need to look like, who the relationship needs to be with, what level or how much money you make. Like, and what I mean by that is surrender over like your specific ideas. Get clear on what you need and what you deserve, but surrender your specific ideas of exactly how it's supposed to happen, exactly how you think it needs to happen, exactly what you think it needs to look like. Because you might be forcing yourself into, you might be chasing and forcing yourself into a corner whenever there might be other options that you're not seeing because you might be so stuck on like your way working out. Because like if it's the love that you deserve and desire, you can have that. If it's the success you deserve and desire, you can have that. If it's the financial abundance that you need, you can have that. But if you are so focused on feeling like it needs to happen a specific way at a specific time with a specific person or whatever the case is, you might be blocking what you're actually looking for. So I don't know exactly what this is talking about, but I do feel like Spirit is saying, we're trying to bring this to you, but you got to let go a little bit. There's a little bit of forcing, a little bit of controlling, which happens, especially when we're stressed about an outcome. But my favorite mantra has become, it is this or something better. It's either going to work out like I want it to, or something better is going to happen. And all I need to focus on is my intention and the energy that I'm putting in to let go of the rest, give it over to the universe, give it over to Spirit, higher self, spirit guides, whatever resonates with you, spiritual connection of your own understanding, and allow. And I feel like that's really what this is about, because it feels like Spirit is saying this path is protected. You deserve what you desire here. But your forcing and your controlling might be the one thing that's getting in your way. And we force and control out of fear, right? And when you've been working towards something and it's not happening, you're going to start to go, oh my gosh, it's never going to happen. It's going to happen. You're going to get what you want or where you're trying to go. This kind of is similar a little bit to the Virgo reading. It's like the Virgo reading was literally titled, you're going to get what you want, but you need to know this. I feel like the message was a little bit different in there. So if you have Virgo in your chart, that might be a reading for you. But yeah, I feel like this is, I don't know, it feels good. It feels like confirmation to me. I'm going to hop on over to the extended. We're going to dive deeper into this, looking at what you can do or what you need to do right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self. And then I've got an advice card to pull at the very end. Before I do that, I do want to talk a little bit about this workshop that I have coming up. It's going to be Friday, April 25th at 6 p.m. Central Time. If you cannot make the workshop live, but you still wish to be a part of it, if you purchase a ticket, you both receive access to the workshop and also a recording of the live event that will be sent out the next day. This workshop is all about the secret to manifesting, which is embodiment. You know, we do the vision boards and the positive thinking and the visualization, and we still find ourselves not experiencing the things that we deserve and desire. And this workshop is all about kind of breaking down what embodiment really means. It's about becoming what it is that you deserve and desire and aligning with it, not just in thoughts and beliefs, but also in action. And this is a workshop that's really close to my heart. I've put a lot of time and energy into this one. I've experienced a lot in regard to this in my personal life. So I'm really excited to share what I've learned with everybody out there. The psychology behind manifesting has always just been so fascinating to me. And that's something that I will really be talking about in this workshop as well. So if any of this sounds like it might resonate with you, any information is at the very top of the description box below. If you have any questions on it, feel free to drop a comment or shoot me an email, and I'll be happy to address those. Other than that, Gemini, thank you so much as always for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Gemini.